Hi and welcome to another video in my Photoshop Elements 2020 series. Now with this video I'm going to give you an overview of the full Editor Workspaces. So let's start in the organiser and select some images. So we'll select, say, that one, and I'll hold the control key down and I'll select that one. Now the instant fix panel in the organiser that we've already looked at in a previous video and the quick edit panel in the full screen view do offer some one-step tools for some of the most common editing tasks. But if the need is for more complex editing solutions, then we require the full editing workspace. Now to open in the images in the editor, we can either right click on one of the images and select Edit with the Photoshop Elements editor, or we can go down to the bottom on the button on the taskbar which says Editor. And I can either just click on that, or if you click the little down arrow, it gives you some further options, and I'll just click on Photo Editor, and that'll open up the full Editor Workspace. Now you can switch back to the organiser really easily by just clicking the Organiser button here, and that'll take you straight back into the organiser. And you can see here that these little red bars with the edit in progress and the little padlock, that's telling you that you've still got some images open in the editor. Okay, let's go back to the editor. I'm going to click the editor button, and here we are back here. Now the editor provides a powerful editing environment with a choice of editing modes. We've got quick, we've got guided, and we've got expert. But let's start back with quick. And you'll see on the left hand side we've got a simplified toolbar, and the right hand panel presents an easy to use control for 6 common image editing operations. If you click the small arrow beside each of the quick edit operations, you can expand and collapse the controls. So if I want to go into Smart Fix, if I want to go into Exposure, if I want to go into Lighting, you can see what it's like. You can see here that we can, like on lighting, we can attack the shadows, the midtones or the highlights. And what we've got is a matrix of 9 little thumbnails. And if I hover over them, it gives you a preview of what that adjustment will look like. We've also got a slider, so I can move the slider over and increase the effect, and you can see the little blue line that's around the edge, that's telling you which one you're on. So I can go into my shadows and I can say lighten the shadows, or I can darken the shadows. You've got an auto, so you've got an auto levels, which isn't bad, and we've got an auto contrast. So all the tools are here for you to do a good edit in any of these 6 options. Now a really useful mode for the newcomer to start with is guided edit. Now what this does, this takes you step by step through a range of different edits, showing you the tools you need to use. So I'll just go up to guided, click on guided edit. Now the work area now shows you an interactive preview for each guided edit offered, and you can hover over and just move the line to see what kind of effect that this guided edit is. And in the bar underneath the guided edit, it shows you all the different types. So we've got some basics, we've got some colour ones, we've got some black and white ones, some fun edits, some special effects, and a photo merge. And we'll be going into more detail with these in a future video. In this video I just want to show you where everything is and what it does. Now I can click, let's say, brightness and contrast. I'll just click to launch that procedure, and it brings an image in for me, the one that I've got active. And then this is the brightness and contrast, and basically these are the instructions, and it's telling you what to try and use. So this is saying click auto fix to apply a general fix to under or overexposed images, and I can drag the sliders to fine tune it. Okay, I'll give that a go. I'll go auto fix, and it's not made that much difference, and I'll just drag the brightness a little bit. Okay, and I'll drag the contrast a little bit, but it's actually telling you, and it's bringing the tools into this panel, so you don't have to go around and find them. It's actually bringing the tools to you, and I think that's really clever, and it's very helpful, and it's a really good learning exercise. And then when you finish, you can click next, and it'll say, do you want to save it? How do you want to save it? Or do you want to continue editing in this mode? Or have you now finished in here and do you want to go into expert mode? And also when you're finished, do you want to save it to something like Flickr or Twitter? And when I've done, I just click the done. And that takes me back here. And that's the same for all these. So you've got plenty to go at. Now the expert editing mode is the most advanced, and it allows you to solve more complex editing issues. Now below the edit pane is the photo bin. And this is where it provides easy access to the images you're working on, no matter how many files you've got open. And you can click each of the thumbnails to bring it to the front as the active image. Now the edit mode toolbox includes tools for making more precise selections, fixing image perfections, drawing, painting, adding text and creating special effects, conveniently grouped by function. Now you can hide and show the toolbox to free up screen space if you want by choosing tools from the window menu. So if you go up to the window menu, this is where all your panels are, and if you untick the one that says tools, then the tool panel will disappear. But I want it back, so I'm going to click on tools again. Now each of the tools has its own set of customizable options. So let's have a look at, say, the brush tool. And once I've clicked on it, I've got down here a tool options button, and that will basically hide the tool options, or it'll show me the tool options for the tool that I've got selected. And here you can make adjustments in the brush tool. So we've got a little teeny tiny brush, so we can make the brush bigger or smaller, we can change the opacity, and we can choose a different brush. Also we've got blend modes, we can brush with a certain blend mode, and we've got different brush settings, and if you use a tablet, we've got some tablet settings as well. But you can also change the brush size on the fly with the keyboard shortcut of the square brackets. So left square bracket makes the brush smaller, right square bracket makes the brush bigger. To the right of the edit pane is the panel bin. In its default basic mode, the panel bin displays one panel at a time. Now the buttons in the taskbar below the panel bin switch the panel bin between layers. We've got effects, we've got filters, we've got styles, we've got graphics, and then we've got a more button. Now the more button at the far right of the taskbar will bring up the rest of the editor panels. So if I click the more button, not this little doohickey triangle next to it, but if I click the more button, it will bring up another set of panels, and these are the floating panels. Now to hide the floating panels, all you do is just click the more button again and they'll disappear. Now if you click the small triangle beside the more button, here we get the what's in that floating panel and which do you want at the front. So if I click on, let's say, histogram, then what it will do is it will bring the panels up, but it will bring the histogram up as the active panel. Now you can customize the floating panel. Now customizing the floating panel is easy as drag and drop. If you didn't want the histogram in here, you could drag the histogram out and you could close it down by clicking here or close, and it's gone. Now if I want to bring back the panel, I can go up to the window menu and I can go down to histogram. And the panel appears again, but it's now separate. But if I want to redock it with these, it's just grab by the name, drag it up, and when you get near the top, you'll see a blue line appear all the way around the panel. That means it's ready for docking. When you let go, the histogram is back in the dock again. Now, if you're an experienced user of the expert editing mode, you may like to change the workspace from basic to custom mode. And the most important difference between the two modes is that custom mode, the panel bin can store and display more than one panel at a time. So you can dock all your favourite floating panels in the panel bin, keeping them clear of the work area and ready at your fingertips without the need to use the menu commands. So let's see how that works. I'm going to go to the little doohickey down arrow here next to the more button and click on that. And then I'm going to select custom workspace. And now what it does is it takes all the panels from the bottom and it docks them at the top. So that's good. I've got my layers, my effects, my filters, my styles and my graph. That's perfect. But if I want some extra panels now, I can just click the more button and I get my floating panel. And what I can do now is I can drag a panel from here and drop it into there. So I've now got my info panel all docked, so I don't need this to be open if I don't need it. And if I want my history panel, I can click and drag my history panel into there, and that's really cool. I've got all my history there. And then if I don't want this open for any reason, I can just click on the More button and it disappears. Now a cool thing with this is that you can actually do a little bit more with this. So if I click the More panel again, if I want all of my panels open at the same time, what I can do is I can basically, if I grab this by the grey bar at the top and I offer it up to the bottom of the panel, you'll see there you get a blue line. And when I let go, now all the two panels are like welded together. So I've now got these open all the time. So I've now got access quickly to all of my panels all in one go in this right hand panel bin. Well, that's it for editing modes. Let's have a brief recap. We've got 3 different editing modes. We've got the quick edit mode, which is for doing, well, quick edits. And we've got guided edit modes, which basically takes you through how to do some preset ones, but it also brings the tools in for you. So it's a really good learning exercise to be able to do some of the guided edits. And then we've got expert or full edit mode. And this is where you are really totally in command. And we've then looked through how to customize the workspace panels to suit your workflow. Well, I really hope you found that useful. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.